Okay, so I'm going to try to show you how I pack my kayaks when me and the wife Judy go camping. We camp out of our boats, primitive, just to give you an idea of what we take with us. And just so you have an idea, here are our boats. One is a 14-footer. The one over there, the current design Vision 14. The .65 whiskey is a 16-footer. And pretty much when I'm done packing, nothing will be on the outside of the boats except for maybe a deck bag. Alright, so where I keep my camping gear, I try to keep everything in a way that we can get to it relatively quickly. If I had to, I could grab all these boxes, pack them in my truck, and I could go truck camping in RV. So, break open these boxes real quick. So the things we need: one sleeping bag. These two items here are chairs. Some of this will get broken down into smaller bags. This is our bug gear. This is our tarp. Poles for the tarp. Some camping towels. The pegs and some light cordage for the tarp. These you probably haven't seen, and I'll have to look up and get the name. But what this is it's a web, so like a nylon material. And basically you lay it down like a cloth, and sand will go through it, but it won't come back up through it. It'll go one way, but it won't go the other way, so that you can walk on it, sand will get on it and fall through it, and you're not walking in sand all day when you're under your, say, tarp area. And normally we'll put this out in front of the tent, and normally we'll put the tarp, if we do, also in front of the tent, make like just to extend that area out a little bit. And this I found on the internet, and I'll figure out who makes it. I can't remember, it's been so long since I bought it, but originally this was used for helicopter landing pads, and they would throw it out in the desert and then land helicopters on it so they don't get a big sandstorm. And actually I have two. I have that one there, which is like a 9x9, and this one here is like a little bigger than a 5x5. These are water bag, or like Coleman water ballots, but we don't use those in the boat. This is the cook kit. This is like hygiene stuff. Now all of these are how I store stuff between camping and whatever. They're mesh bags that I found on eBay. It makes it easier to see what's in the bag, and also air. It's not like you're keeping them in dry bags or plastic bags. They're just thrown into a big mess. From those bags, I'll break them down into watertight bags to go in the boat and smaller. Here's more bug stuff. This is actually like stuff you put on you. These are the thermocell units that you put the little pads in, and they have butane, and you heat them up and it cooks the pads and it makes the bugs stay away. This is like a little gear lineage. This is our light bag. Two of the lights I did the Coleman's. I did a review on. You might have watched it, you might not have. But basically, those aren't in here because I took them out for that. But what I do is just give you an idea. And remember, I don't know anything about camping. So you can take my, these are just suggestions. I don't store anything with batteries in them. But what I do is I break the batteries down after we're done camping into little bags. And I actually have, these are spare batteries written on there. These are another spare, but usually there'll be like one in here, it'll say red. And these will be this is the black. So this came out of the black headlamp actually. So that we put the batteries back in, and that way they burn out. I know what I'm using. It's not like just a free-for-all mess of batteries. Plus, if one of these batteries goes bad in this bag, the whole bag of batteries isn't contaminated. And it does happen. This right here now is our backup stove, but it's also could be our primary. It's an older Primus. And it'll burn anything. It'll do the canned propane type gas. It'll burn unleaded. It'll burn white gas. But we carry it as a backup. But if it came down to it, and I'm not a believer in the end of the world, but what I am a believer is that a huge hurricane could come through here, seeing as I live in the state of Florida, and take out the infrastructure for a week or two where you have no electricity and then maybe no gas. And it would be nice, something like this, I could literally siphon gas out of my truck and still cook off it if I had to. And another little thing that we put on all the bags, especially if you can't see in them, but even the ones that we can, a little tag that says what's in it, a stove. More so, this is an easy bag to tell, but when it comes time to pack up after you unpack, or when you only want a specific thing, instead of having to dig through a bunch of waterproof bags, you can look on those tags and you can see. And you can get stuff back the way it was. These are because we don't know what the beach or area is going to be like when we camp, so I still carry these with me. These are like giant sand stakes for either the tent, but mostly used for the tarp. Tent's self-standing, so it doesn't really want to fall down, but the tarp is not. This is a Sawyer water purifier. Not a water filter, but a purifier. A purifier will take you down to bacteria. So basically, any water you drink out of here is good to drink from anywhere. These are two small fold-out tables. When I lay out camp, I'll either take some pictures or video, and that way, and I'll show you what most of this stuff looks like broke out. This is my fire bag, some fat wood in there, some lighters, just anything, things to make fire. Nice little shovel, needs to say, you got to go to the bathroom. But we also take this with us, which is a small broom and dustpan. It's nice for sweeping out the tent. Just a bag of extra cordage. Judy found this online. She wanted something. She didn't like the little fold-out pots for like cleaning, so she found this little pan that just kind of folds up, and it gives you a nice little tub for cleanup or whatever. But what was nice is it folds in half and it fits down in the kayaks well, and I can pack stuff on top of them, and it really doesn't take up a bunch of space. Alright, so these, just because I'm going to put the kayaks on my truck tonight overnight, they're actually cable locks for your kayaks. Carry bilge pumps for each boat. This is just a little short sleeve, like not water, just like a little pullover jacket. This is my day bag. Because I can't see well without these glasses up close, boom, a little glass case. We're going on a river, so I'm not as much worried about a map case, but I always carry it anyhow. And actually, if you watched my first video, the Essie story, we're going back to that river. It's the first time we've been on it since the honeymoon. It's not because we're worried about the river, it's just the first time we've had a chance. But I already have the map for that river in there. My 2 saws, 1 hatchet, Judy's bailout bag, or boat bug bag, Judy's day bag, that's pretty much like this one. And there's tons of extra stuff in all of these. See, this is why these little tags are nice. This is actually what they call a storm keg. And it's like a rain jacket, but it also sits around the outside rim of the kayak and seals it so the water can't get in the kayak either. So it's protecting you and water from going inside the boat. One deck bag. I don't know if we'll use that, but I'll pull it out for now. Some shoes. And the sleeping bag and stuff, that's probably one of the only things we keep in the house because they're down just to keep it in decent shape. Alright, so real quick, I'm going to do a review on this separate, but this is my PDF. And this is what I carry in it. A survival kit, a small set of hand flares, 1 brake light, you know, snap it and you have a light, and a small medical kit. A little notepad and a Write Anywhere waterproof pen. Take notes or whatever, you just never know. Alright, so let me rearrange some of this stuff and break it down a little bit, and then I'll come back. Alright, so just while I had it out, I'm in the middle of a big mess here, just trying to go through everything and sort it down, because all this stuff is packed in bigger bags with extra stuff. I only need so much of it for an overnighter, so all of it's slowly getting broken down. But I was going to go and actually, this is the Sawyer water purifier. It's the double bag system, you know, drain through with a filter in between, and I mean it's a pretty good size filter. It'll usually, it's funny because you'll watch this thing and it seems to take forever to start going, and then all of a sudden you'll come back and it'll be done. But it takes about, realistically, 15 minutes for it to filter down this big bag. And I can't remember, I think this is like a 3 liter, maybe a little bit more than a 3 liter bag. The only thing that I don't like doing is when they give you this little handle to try to scoop water into this bag. Talk about a pain in the butt. So I actually bought one of these water tanks, Papyrus water tank. I'm going to try that, where the whole top of it literally opens up. So go down to the river, open this up like this, fill this full of water, and then come back and use the spout and pour it right in that bag. And I think that'll be like a gazillion times easier. I think a gazillion is slightly more than a billion, but I have to look that back up. But I just wanted to show you and talk about this. This works really good. I mean, I've yet to have a problem with it or it not work. But what I do is, and I want to go in the house and do it now, is I'll fill this bag with just some water, and I'll run it through here just to get this filter soaked. And then when we're done with the trip, we'll flush this out with some bleachy water. There's, and I can't remember what the actual percent, it's like 1 cup of bleach in this bag of water, and then you run it through it, and that'll hold it over. But that way the filter's soaked down and it'll start up easier. I won't have to prime it tomorrow when we're camping. All right, I'll get back with you some more information here in a little bit. Okay, so the 2 boats are completely loaded for camping tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is unpack it and give you an idea of what I got inside of these boats. Let me see if I can take the back of my boat first and give you a view. And these here are feature bags, and actually, so we'll pack everything in these. We'll get to where we're going to go, get the boats by the water, and then put everything in here. So we are going to take some water right up front, even though we're going to be able to filter water. So in the back of this, I had a water bag. I have the thermal cell bug devices, shovel and broom, my hatchet, which is really considered a small woodsman axe. I have our ground cloth, a water bag, the tarp, and then a bunch of stuff packed up in here in the back. Because there's a bunch of little, this kayak has a skeg and it takes up some of the room, so you have to pack all this little crap up and around it to use that space back there. So I have tent stakes, more tent stakes, more tent stakes. So really these are the tent stakes and parts for the tent. This is what we usually use to set the tarp. And then the bigger ones, just in case the ground's really sandy. Also, Florida, you can get some good winds still here. Okay, so that's what's in that. So we come up here, this is my day hatch. And in here I have my day bag, a bunch of little things. Some cordage, white gas fuel, backup, primary power gas, rain keg. That's really more for Judy than me. Lights. This here, knives. Batteries and cables to charge iPhones. I'll take a waterproof speaker with me so we can listen to tunes. Saw that I carry up in the front in case we need it while we're actually on the river. I can get it while I'm in the boat. Bug repellent and stuff like that for today. The backup stove. These are like, we don't use sleeping bags. We have, we strap the 2 sleeping mats together, and then we have like a quilt that we use, a down quilt. And this holds the 2 mats together, so it forms like one bed. We actually bought a single mattress. Oh yeah, the cook kit. A single mattress, but it was just too big. It wouldn't fit in the boats. This is my 45 and 3 clips of just pure round ball. It's really more for varmint, like wild boar. This is my holster. In the state of Florida, camping, fishing, are reasons that you can open carry. And then just some basic stuff that I won't put in the bag. The 2 bilge pumps, maps, a seat pad for me because my butt will get sore. And I'm not going to pull this out, I'll leave it behind the seat, is my Dexter and a tow rope. Alright, and that's it for this bag. So now, let's see, I'm going to empty this hole out. Let's see, is this showing it? Front here. And because the rivers get so much traffic, you almost never find wood. I mean, there's chances, but so we pack wood. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I have 2 bags of firewood in here that like you get from Home Depot or wherever. It's kind of crazy how much wood I can actually get up in the front of this boat. And it may take 2 bags actually to carry it out. You just don't want to hump your boat around with all this weight in it. And then you certainly don't want it up on your boat, on your racks, on your car, because they're really not designed to carry all this. Plus, you're stressing the boat in ways that it was never designed for. You're going to need 2 bags of all this wood. Probably better that way anyhow, because it's going to be fairly heavy. Let me grab another bag. And needless to say, packing a boat is like playing Tetris. There is no rhyme or reason. The biggest concerns you have are you want to try to keep heavy things to the bottom of the boat and more toward the cockpit, the area that you sit in. Because you want most of your weight there. And of course, when I repack this tomorrow, it'll be completely different because there's just no way to remember where all this stuff went. It's just figuring it out and seeing, I know it'll all fit, so it's just jerking it around until it fits back. So just to give you an idea how much wood was actually stuffed up in front of there. That much, 2 big bags of it. All right, so let's empty this other boat out. Let me get another beaching bag. Let's make sure we're kind of, maybe get a little closer. There we go. So this is Judy's boat. So I try to always pack the lighter stuff in here. It's just being nice. All right, so some toiletries. This is more like toothpaste and stuff like that. Judy's clothes. This is just a general bag, some toilet paper, fire starting stuff, and some towels. Bigger, like actually, so you can dry yourself, like towels. Boots. The only way, and I like wearing my boots, and so does Judy, and the only way we found to do this is separate, small, lightweight bags, because I don't want them wet. And even though they should be dry, these are actually dry holes. You never know. Some more boots, my boots. And like I said, every little space. I don't want the weight of this boat to shift around while we're paddling. Or if something happened, if this boat rolled over, I don't want everything falling to this side. I want it to stay where it is. All right, so this is a Kodiak bag. And I have 2 of them. I've actually had them for a long time. they're actually tapered, and what's nice about them is you can jam them up here and they take up most of the space. All right, that's everything out of there. Let's go to the back. Let me move this camera around to the back of the boat. Let's empty this out. So, bag of food. My clothes. Water treatment kit. That little tray that I showed you earlier for like washing things out. These are our 2 sleeping mats. And these are insulated. They're pretty nice and they're pretty thick. I mean, I could get some, I have smaller ones, but that's the route we ended up going. So I've made space for them over the years. Table, another chair, a table, and I mean, sure, a table is not a necessity. It makes life so much nicer when you're out there. It's a good thing to cook on. You can put your drinks on it. It's not like you're living in the dirt. Another Kodiak bag. And I had the 2 tent poles. Oh, and this Kodiak, in the first Kodiak bag in the front was the sleeping bag. And this one here is the tent and the rain fly for the tent. That's everything out of there. Now what I want you, let me show you something here in a second. There's just a couple more things I want to get out of here. So I'm probably going to rearrange some of this tomorrow. I got one more water bottle. And my primary first aid kit is this. And it's pretty much an overkill for most people, but I've had enough happen on the water that I think it's worth having. Alright, so, and the things like our personal flotation devices and the few things that we wear, we'll carry separate or tie into something. But I want to give you a quick idea here. As crazy as it looks. Let's see how this looks. All of that gear these 2 big bags, this big bag, or that big bag, 2 bags of firewood were completely packed inside those boats with nothing on top. It's kind of incredible what you can get into a kayak. And of course, when I was younger, and I wasn't quite as worried about comfort, I could pack this even down tighter because I wouldn't carry a big sleeping bag. And I mean, we have a decent sized tent. It could be smaller. But for the most part, most of our stuff is pretty compact. And half the fun is enjoying the trip. If you're going to completely rough it, I don't know if you're enjoying it as much. And it's not like we're carrying it on our back. We are paddling it. And we do have to deal with it. But we get it done. Alright, so that gives you an idea of what goes into a kayak. I couldn't show you packing it because on my end it's just crazy. But unpacking it gave you an idea of how it was loaded and where I put stuff in the boat. If you have any questions, leave comments. I would like to see some comments. It would be nice. And subscribe. Thanks, and have a good evening.